Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a Q&A. So I put a little question sticker out on Instagram and I asked you guys to ask me any question you wanted, and I have collected a bunch on my phone. Now, I do have to caveat this by saying this is now the second time I'm filming this video. Oh, the trials and tribulations of filming YouTube videos. I filmed the video, it was 30 minutes, and I went to edit it, and throughout the whole entire video I had like a big like, you know when you wear a lip gloss and it kind of like clumps up a little bit, like throughout the video it was like right like on my lip, and I'm like, okay, do I proceed and do I post? I'm like, no, because then I think it's one of those things the viewers are just going to focus on. So I'm like, you know what, let me just film it again. So with that being said, all of these questions were going to be a surprise, but now they are no longer a surprise because I've already answered them once. So let's go ahead and we are going to get right into it. Well, first, hold on. Let's do a check. Anything in my teeth? Anything on my lips? No, I'm not wearing lip gloss at all, so we're good. Okay. By Mag Nails. Are you on an Airmess purchase journey to get a Birkin or a Kelly? So I will be completely honest with you guys. I do love Airmess and I think the bags are absolutely stunning, and I think Birkins and Kellys are beautiful. Some of my YouTube buddies have Birkins and Kellys and they look so good on them. But for me, I'm just not on an Airmess journey yet. Right now there are a lot of other Chanel bags that I have on my radar. If you guys didn't check out my recent Chanel handbag collection and wishlist video, I included a couple in there that I would like to invest in. And then if I did purchase an Airmess bag, I think the first bag I would love to purchase is the Eveline bag, and I will put a little clip up on the screen. I had taken a trip to King of Prussia Mall and I went into the Airmess, and they actually had two sizes of the Airmess Eveline bag, and I tried it on and I just think it would be super functional. So I think that would probably be my very first Airmess bag. So as of now, I'm not on a Birkin or a Kelly journey, but maybe an Eveline journey. By Mag Nails. What is your favorite luxury brand for handbags, skincare, and makeup? Okay. So for handbags, really quickly, I love YSL and Louis Vuitton and Chanel. Those are my favorites, but I would have to say I gotta go by the bag I use the most, and it's the Louis Vuitton Pochette Métis. That bag is amazing. It is so functional. So because that is my most used bag, I would have to say Louis Vuitton for bags. For skincare, I would have to say Sunday Riley. I love the sleeping oil. It's blue. You put it on your face and it dissolves into your skin. I like that for skincare. And then for makeup, I would have to say Dior. Dior foundation is my favorite. Actually, Dior blush, like everything Dior I absolutely love. You guys know I do like Dior beauty hauls all the time. They have the promo codes, the free gifts, the loyalty programs, but I love Dior for beauty. Sasha.nega, how do you store all of your boxes from your purchases? So if I kept them in my closet, it would take up too much space, so I actually have them stored down in our crawl space. So I always keep all of the packaging for all of my handbags. In the event I ever decide I want to sell it, that way whoever I sell it to will get the whole experience of the box and the dust bag and everything. So I do hang on to the boxes for all of my SLGs, all of my handbags. It is a little excessive. Like my husband the other day was kind of cleaning this crawl space a little bit. He was like, Amber, these boxes are getting out of control. I'm like, I know, but I don't want to throw them away because I never know if I'm going to want to like curate my collection and just get rid of a couple things. So because of that, I do hang on to my boxes and we keep them in our crawl space downstairs. Same person. 10 habits you do every day. You planned such a video. Yes, I had mentioned to you guys that I plan on filming a video. It's 10 habits I do every day. I know I love watching videos like that, so I thought it would be fun to film. So that is definitely on my list of a video to film, so stay tuned. My life as Renine. What do you think about the YSL college bag? Oh, the YSL college bag. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, you know that the YSL college bag and we are cursed, the two of us. I love the YSL college bag. I purchased it once, then I returned it, and then recently, actually just a few weeks ago, I did an unboxing. Go check that video out if you haven't. There were so many things wrong with it, so I ended up returning it. But I really think that bag would be perfect in my collection. It has a top handle, which I love, a back pocket for my phone, a crossbody. I just feel like it would be so functional. I try it on every time I go like shopping, but for whatever reason, that bag and I just don't want to come together. But it is still on my wish list. I think it'll probably always be on my wish list. And I think one day, with the perfect opportunity, I will add that to my collection. Opsinger.ds. How do you protect your luxury leather handbags? So I actually don't do anything to my handbags other than I will spray the Vachetta for Louis Vuitton with Apple Guard. I did film a video on spraying my Nano Speedy with Apple Guard. Actually, that one is right back here. Let me show you. So I sprayed this bag with Apple Guard, and you guys, it still looks amazing. It hasn't patinaed or anything. There aren't any water spots, because a lot of you were asking me for an update. I did spray the strap, and I also sprayed the handles, and it's doing really well. So I don't spray canvas, I don't spray leather or anything like that, but I do spray the Vachetta with Apple Guard, and I will link Apple Guard down below. Okay, Turquoise Traveler 11, is your job stressful? And then how do you deal with stress and stay so positive? So I truly believe that no matter what job you have, there is always some sort of stress related to it. For my job in particular, for my full-time job, yes, there is stress. We have a lot of deadlines to meet, and it's kind of a recurring theme. So there are times it can get really stressful, especially at the end of the year, because we're preparing for the next year. So it kind of will mess with Christmas sometimes, but that's just how it goes. How do I deal with it? Honestly, you guys, I do the best I can. There was a time where I would worry and I would stress about work, but you know what? I read a quote one time, and ever since I read it, it really stuck with me. If I were to pass away tomorrow, do you know what my company would do? They would put a vacancy announcement out for my position. And I don't know why, but that just really like stung. Like, we all want to believe that we're like so valued at our companies, and I'm sure we are, but really, if you leave tomorrow, they're gonna replace you, or they'll have a going away party for you and then they'll replace you. Will there be a couple weeks where they probably miss you? Yeah, but guess what? They're gonna replace you. So when it comes to overstressing, or not wanting to take time off to be with my family, or not taking time off to just have a day to myself, I have since changed a lot, and now I do take the time off, and I try not to stress, because it's just not worth it. You want to do the best job you can at work, but when it comes to stressing, it's just not worth it, you guys. It really isn't. Should I get a Speedy B25 or a small Lulu? So I don't have a Speedy B25, but I do have a Speedy 20 right here. And then let me get the Lulu. I have a Speedy 20. And then I have a Lulu. If I had to pick between the two, I would probably say the Speedy B, because this is more functional, and it has a crossbody strap that you can remove so you can carry it top handle. This one, it doesn't have a removable strap. I do still like it, but the thing that kind of bothers me about this bag is when you open it, it has this interior compartment, and I just think it's unnecessary and takes up space. Whereas this bag right here, it's just, oop, I have the dust bag. I always keep the dust bag on the inside. And I have the strap in there too. It's just one large compartment. So I would say if you're torn between those two bags, of course, get whichever one your heart desires, but I would say the Speedy B if you're asking my opinion, just because it seems like more functional. Okay, MP Garazam, what is the most expensive luxury item in your collection? Let me get it. The most expensive bag in my collection is my Chanel Jumbo. I about had a heart attack when I purchased this bag. No, I saved and I saved and I saved, just like for all of my bags, but this one was really special, and it was really meaningful when I was able to purchase it. I was so lucky because I was able to get this bag prior to the price increase. This is very, very special to me. It's the most I've ever invested in a handbag, but the way the Chanel price increases are going, I look at them as investment investment pieces as well, especially if you're someone who is a collector and you might end up selling them in the future. But this is definitely my most expensive, and I'm so happy I got it. It is in the caviar with the beautiful gold hardware, Mona Lisa pocket. It is a great, great bag. It can be a little heavy. The chain does have a tendency sometimes to dig into my shoulder, but it's still a really good bag and it fits quite a bit as well. But that is my most expensive luxury purchase. Same person, what is one luxury item you really want but can't bring yourself to spend that amount? This is easy. I want the Chanel medium classic flap in the iridescent pink. It's got the purple undertones. It is so pretty, and I can't get it in the boutique now because they don't have it anymore. It's one of those bags that if I did get it, I would have to get it on the Real Real or Fashion File. And they do have it, but I can't bring myself to pay that price. I'm not saying I never will. Like, maybe I'll save my money and that will be like a special occasion, whether it's a milestone birthday or an achievement. But right now, I just can't bring myself to spend that money. It is a medium classic flap. I have a medium classic flap, and I have mentioned I purchased that bag 10 years ago for half the price of what the bag is now. And because that bag is like a pink and it's like a highly sought after bag, it of course is going to be marked up. So that is a bag that I yearn after, but I just can't bring myself to get it. But maybe someday. Meow Baggins, how to buy Chanel without purchase history. So honestly, there are two ways I would recommend. Number one is go into a boutique. The best way, go into a boutique, get a sales associate's information and start a communication, build a relationship. Every single bag I've purchased has most likely been through a sales associate, and I have a really good relationship with my Chanel sales associate. I just love her to death. Same with my Louis Vuitton sales associate. And the way that I made that connection was going into the store and forming that bond. So that would be my first way. Or you can call the customer service line, tell them what they're looking for, and a lot of times they will put you in contact with a sales associate. So I would say those two ways, but I would prefer you to go into a store if at all possible to form that bond. I know some people are intimidated to go into the store, but you don't need to be. Just go in there, tell them what you're looking for, start a conversation. And honestly, if you don't get a good feeling with that sales associate, you know, say you'd like to work with somebody else. Christina B. Courtney, why do you and your husband have separate bank accounts while married? Love you, by the way. So that's a good question. So we actually do have joint bank accounts, and that is for like our savings, that is for all of our bills. But, you know, we do have separate bank accounts for certain things. Like I mentioned, YouTube. I have a specific account for YouTube, and that's what I use for my business. That's what I use for my handbags. And personally, I'm going to be honest, I am a spender. I am definitely the spender in the relationship. My husband is a little more financially sound, may I say. He makes better financial decisions. In other words, he doesn't blow money on handbags. So I personally would feel guilty if both of our money was going into an account and I was like constantly using that to buy handbags. So it just makes me feel a little better that I have that one, like that separate account to purchase my handbags. So that way I don't feel like I'm like digging into our joint account. So everyone does things differently, but that's kind of how it works. I would just feel really guilty since he's not a spender. Now, if you're in the type of relationship where, let's say your husband's into electronics and he spends a lot, and then you spend handbags and it's kind of like a joint thing and you guys both like pull from it, I can understand, but that's not the case with us. I'm definitely more of the spender, so. Kendall A. Lukes, tell us about camping. I love luxury and camper life. If you guys aren't aware, my husband and I do have a camper. We purchased it about a year ago. I grew up camping. I grew up camping with my parents. We would go to the Florida Keys every Easter and we would camp actually in Marathon, Florida, right by the Long Bridge. We would camp right on the water. And then, so we started with a tent and then we went to a pop-up camper. We didn't have air conditioners or anything like that. So it wasn't glamping now. Now we have a camper and it is glamping. So I'm going to be honest with you. We had initially purchased the camper because we thought it would be a more affordable way to go on little trips. But what we're finding now, especially after the pandemic, is it's A, so hard to get a campsite. They're always booked. B, it's super expensive. Like I think we looked to camp at the beach and it was like $200 in the Outer Banks to camp a night. And we're like, oh my God. And if you think about it, that's like the cost of a hotel. So plus you have gas, and I don't know if I told you this, we were going to go on a trip the other day and we were like, an hour or two up in our camper blue attire, and we've just had a couple issues. So we love camping, but we're still on the fence as to whether or not we would possibly sell our camper. I don't know. It's to be determined, but let's just say that it didn't really turn out the way we've thought so far, but we'll see how it goes. Every trip we have been on has been amazing, but we just haven't been able to go on as many as we'd like. Days Manuela, which LV bags would you not recommend buying? Okay, so I can only go from personal experience. The one Louis Vuitton bag that I have purchased and then returned has been the double zip pochette. I was so excited about that bag. I thought it would be so functional. But when I got it, I thought my phone would fit in between the two pouches. It did not. And then when I filled up the two side pouches, it became a little bulky. So when I would wear it, it didn't sit flat on my stomach. It would kind of bulge a little bit. So I ended up returning that because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I have also talked to some people who really love it. So I think it's just personal preference. I would say the double zip pochette because that's the one I actually have experience with. This is Jillian 2014. Will you give the college bag another try in the future? Absolutely. I truly believe that one day the college bag and I will be reunited. I'm just not sure when. We have to wait for the right moment. But I do think that that would be such a functional bag. So yes, 100%. I think we will be reunited someday. Katie Hansen, do you prefer leather bags or canvas bags? I honestly prefer both, so I don't think I have a preference as to which one I like more because I definitely use both. So sorry if that's kind of a cop-out answer, but I love my canvas Louis Vuitton bags, and then I also love my leather bags as well. Both of them have been pretty carefree, so I would say both. The Closet by Connor. Hi Connor, would you visit Australia and what do you know about it? Hee hee. Okay, so Australia. So there are 3 things about Australia. Number 1, I love the Australian accent. Like anytime someone is Australian, I can just sit there and listen to them talk constantly. I just think it's the coolest accent. So if I could like change my voice, I think I would definitely change it to an Australian accent. I love that. Number 2, I have heard that like Australia has some of like the biggest, like most deadliest snakes. I don't know if that's true. And number 3, you guys know that I'm really, or maybe you don't know, I'm really into sharks. Like I'm big into Jaws and stuff. So I used to read a lot of books on great whites, and I know that Australia is a huge place for great whites. So those are the 3 things that I actually think of when I think of Australia. So Connor, confirm or deny those things about, I guess, the snakes and the sharks, but I also love the Australian accent. It is the best. Beduchino Michelle, I hope I said that right. Have you tried to go on family vacation on the ship? So I think you're asking if I've been on a cruise. So we have gone on a cruise prior to the pandemic. We've been on a regular cruise. We also went on a Disney cruise, which a Disney cruise was absolutely fabulous, but we have not booked anything since the pandemic. Now, if you guys are interested in going on a cruise, the prices are really good right now, but I'm still a little reluctant to go on a cruise because I'm worried like, oh, what if people get COVID? Are they going to make you quarantine like on the ship for 14 days? I don't know. I'm just not ready yet to do that, but if you guys have been on a cruise since the pandemic, let me know how it went. Okay, Andrea Eats MN. What's in your carry-on for travel, including the type of bag you also carry along? Okay, so every time I travel, and I will put a picture, I love to use my Cowpack luggage. That is my favorite. I use it as my carry-on, and then the inside I use little organizers. I did a video where I was packing for Vegas a couple years ago, and I kind of showed you like how I packed it. And then I always like to take my Louis Vuitton Neverfull as my like purse, because then on the inside of that Neverfull I can put my little Chanel wallet on chain, or I can put my Pochette Métis on the inside. So I always use my Cowpack luggage. I love that. And then the Louis Vuitton Neverfull. Perfect for traveling, and because the Neverfull is canvas, I don't have to worry about anything getting on it and, you know, getting dirty. Mess. Next vacation. So we are actually going on vacation in July just for a couple of days. We are going to fabulous Las Vegas. I absolutely love Las Vegas. That's like one of our favorite places to go. So we are going there in July. I hate a mess. Are you going to quit your 9-to-5 so you can live a life of leisure? Oh, my dear. I would love to, but again, I'm A, not at the place where I could even if I wanted, and then B, even if I was at that place, I don't know, I feel like it would be so much pressure. So I know you do YouTube full time and you do amazing, so let me know down below Is it more stressful doing it full time? Do you love it? Are you happy you made that decision? I would love to hear your thoughts. And Heated Mess, I'm sure you guys know her. She is Cindy. She is wonderful. She has a great YouTube channel, talks about luxury handbags. She used to work for Louis Vuitton, so she has a lot of insider knowledge there. So check her channel out if you haven't already, but I'm sure you guys have. Heated Mess, do you use a video editor? I do not. I think I probably do my whole YouTube a little different than most. So I am filming on a Canon camera. It's a Canon Canon EOS Rebel T6i. So it's one of the more affordable cameras. I've had this camera for years. And then what I do is I transfer the video from my camera to my phone. And the reason I do that is I edit on iMovie. It's a free app on your phone. So I don't have like all like the fancy like editing like you see with a lot of YouTubers. Final Cut Pro is what a lot of people use, and that's where they get the really cool edits, but I like to keep it really simple, and I like to do it on my phone, so then that way if I'm like at my daughter's practice and I have 2 hours to kill, I can just like edit and I don't have to worry about being in front of a computer. So I don't have a video editor. I use my phone, iMovie. Heated Mess, who's your YouTube bestie? Hint, it's me. So I have to tell you, one of the wonderful things about YouTube is I have met a lot of amazing people, a lot of like fellow content creators, and Cindy in particular, like her and I have definitely developed a really good friendship. You know, we reach out to each other, and I think that's the one cool thing about this community. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a lot of close friends that are into luxury handbags that would like to talk about stuff like that. So it's nice to have people to reach out to who kind of share those same interests, and Cindy and I definitely share a lot of those same interests. So it's definitely been nice forming bonds with people on this platform. Jinx0505, favorite restaurant. Okay, so I'm going to break that up into two if I can. Normal day-to-day favorite restaurant. I love Mexican food. Like, put chips and queso in front of me and I'm good. I don't even need to order the food. Chips and queso all the way. So Mexican food. And then for my favorite like special occasion spot, I definitely like the Melting Pot. We go there for like birthdays, anniversaries, and we actually just took my daughter there for Mother's Day. So Mexican food and the Melting Pot. Okay, Tiny Mole 101. Any bags that you feel scared of using? Any one bag that has fallen out of grace? The one bag, I will be honest, that I have been a little, not scared to use, well, yeah, I guess I could say scared to use, is my more recent purchase. And it is this beautiful Chanel bag from the 22P collection. I mean, I always say I don't know if the camera's going to do it justice. It might like wash it out a little bit, but this is the prettiest pink. But because it is a light colored bag and I typically use darker colored bags, I do get a little nervous of color transfer, but I am going to wear it. As I tell you guys, bags are meant to be worn, so I plan on wearing this a lot in the summer months. I have already worn it a couple times, but I'm just so afraid of the color transfer, but it is just so beautiful, so stunning. So this is the bag that I am afraid to use, and the bag that I would say is kind of fallen out of grace. It's a good thing I'm filming in my closet because I'm able to grab all these bags. The Speedy 35. This was my first Louis Vuitton purchase. I purchased it for half of what it is now, but because I didn't get the bandolier version, it's just the top handle, so I just carry it on the crook of my arm. I never really wear it anymore. Now, I don't think I would ever sell it, but this is a bag that is just so beautiful and classic, but I definitely don't use it because now I have found myself as more of like a crossbody or a shoulder bag type of gal. So I would say this is the bag that has kind of fallen out of grace, but I don't think I will sell it. How do you keep your positivity? You are so chirpy, love your vibes. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm not always chirpy. I'm not always positive, but I try really, really hard. I like to read a lot of positive thinking books. I really like the book Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. That's a really easy read. If you're someone like me that can't really sit still, that's a really easy read, and it just gives you a different perspective on things. And I've really used those applications from that book and tried to apply it to life, and it really works. Plus, I have found that when you think positive and you do well with looking on the bright side with the little things, it makes the harder things that much better, if it makes sense. Plus, another thing too is ever since I've become a mom, I realize how much information my daughter is absorbing, how much she's watching me, watching my husband, and if she sees that we're both positive and we look on the bright side, then she's going to be that way too. So I look at it as someone is always watching. So I try my best to be positive. Am I positive all the time? No, but I really try my hardest to, if there's a negative situation, to try to automatically replace that negative with a positive or look on the bright side. And I always say, well, it could be worse, it could be this. Does that work for everything in life? No, but that's what I try to do. And we also try to deal with things like we use a lot of humor as well, which I know that might not work for everybody, but that works for us. Like, we joke around a lot and it kind of makes tougher situations a little easier. So I just try really hard to be a positive person. I feel like I only have one life to live, and life can be really depressing. And another thing I do too, and I don't know if this is something I mentioned, but the past couple years with everything going on in the world, it can be so depressing, like watching the news. And of course I check in with the news, but sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I will stay in my little bubble. Like, I will focus on my family, I'll focus on my health, I'll focus on my work, my job, YouTube, and I'll watch the news from time to time, but I try not to get too caught up in it because it can be so depressing. So I just live a life of happiness and try to just kind of block out the noise. So hopefully that helps. If you guys ever want me to do like a dedicated video on positive thinking, I can definitely do that. And Kita05, would you consider leaving your job and pursue YouTube full time? That is a good question, and I get that quite a bit. So as you guys know, I do have a full-time Monday through Friday 40-hour-a-week job, and then I do YouTube on the side. That is such a hard question because the way that I work things now is I have my full-time job, which is like bills, savings, you know, taking care of things, and then YouTube, anything I make from YouTube, I either reinvest in my business, whether it's for like a camera, even though I haven't gotten a camera in a while, a camera or a microphone or handbags. So I actually have like a special account where anything I make from YouTube, I put it into that account, and that's what I use. So basically, to make a long story short, YouTube is my fun money. YouTube is my play money. Like, you see these handbags, a lot of it was purchased with YouTube money. So if I were to quit my full-time job and make YouTube my full-time job, then that would mean that would cut into my play money. So I'm not trying to be selfish or greedy, but right now it's nice because I have the two streams of income where I can have a little bit of like play money and stuff like that. But another thing, I'm not really at the point where I could quit my job. So I don't make as much on YouTube as I do at my full-time job. So the only way I would maybe consider it is if I was at that point where I was making as much as my full-time job. And then even then, I don't know if I would, because right now I film videos when I want and there's no pressure, there's no stress. I don't need views. But if YouTube is my full-time job, I depend on people to watch. Like, I need them to watch my videos, and it seems like there'd be a lot of like stress or pressure. But I don't know, for any of my YouTube friends who do YouTube full time, I would love to hear a comment down below. Like, do you feel that extra stress? I don't know. But for now, I'm content with my situation, but I'll never say never. So talk to me in a couple years and we'll see. Okay, this is one from Monique on the beach. Hi, Monique. This is, okay, you can only pick one item for each. Favorite lip item, eyeliner, mascara, and hair product. Oh, that's hard. Okay, so eyeliner, I've never used eyeliner, so we'll cross that off the list. Favorite lip item. I would have to say lately I've been wearing Rare Beauty Shade Courage. It's a liquid lip. I love that. For, let's see, mascara, I love Bad Gal Bang Benefit. That is my favorite. And then for hair product, I would say hair product, I really like the Kenra Volumizing Hairspray, but I know there are so many others I just can't think of, but that's one I use every day. I love the Kenra Volumizing Hairspray. That's really good. Okay, I'm somewhere outside. Do you think you'll ever do a huge purge of your collection and only keep a few pieces? You know what? I actually do think I probably will get to that point, because you will get to a point where you're like, gosh, you know, I'm a handbag collector, but you can only use so many bags. So I could see myself getting to a point in a few years where I just want to do like a huge purge and only keep the things that are really, really valuable to me. So I'm not there yet, but I could definitely see that happening. Okay, Slim Edwards, I've heard you mention Las Vegas several times. How often do you visit? So During the pandemic, we obviously didn't travel anywhere, but I would say before that, my husband and I tried to go once every year because it's one of those trips where we're not gone very long. We only go for like 2 nights, so it's a quick trip. So we're not gone from our daughter very long, but we're able to cram a lot into a couple of days. And I love Vegas. I'm not a partier, but from the food to the shopping to the shows, you know, we walk a lot. I just absolutely love it. The beautiful casinos. You know, we love to stay at the Cosmopolitan, which have the balconies like overlooking the fountain. Just so many. Vegas is just great. So I would say we try to go once a year, and as I said, we are going in July, so I can't wait. I'm actually currently saving my money so that I can treat myself to something out there. Letty 2020, how many purses do you own? Oh boy. Ugh. Okay, don't judge me. Maybe around 30. I know that's bad, but hey, I'm a handbag collector. Don't you judge me. Alina D. King, I really love watching your videos and you're awesome. How are you doing? Take care. You are so sweet. I am doing very well, thank you. Thank you so much for asking. Hey guys, I think I got most of the questions. I hope I didn't forget any. If I did, you know, I would definitely do another Q&A in a few months. I like to do these every couple of months just to kind of keep everybody updated. But thank you so much if you took the time to ask me a question. I really appreciate it. These are really fun to film. I know that I love watching these as well because it's fun to just kind of learn a little more about people that you watch on YouTube. So if you guys are new to my channel, I would love to have you hit that little subscribe button, and I would love to have you follow me on Instagram as well. Have a wonderful day, you guys, and I will see you in my next video.